Welcome to lesson number 4 of our How to Build Software course. Today I will teach you how to do strategic planning for your software projects. Why do we need this lesson? The thing is that 70% of projects globally fail, and this could be there are many different reasons why they fail. Inaccurate requirements, uninvolved project stakeholders, inaccurate estimates, shifting project objectives, and more and more. But the thing is that all these reasons fall into the same category: poor planning. So what I'm suggesting you to do in the software project, especially if you're doing this for the first time, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. So, because a lot of first-time software founders skip this stage and do it in a wrong way. So let's not repeat their mistakes, okay? So around 80% of project success hinges on effective planning. If you do planning right, all the next steps will be a smooth ride. You will enjoy the process, small mistakes will not break the project, so the planning is super important for us, okay? So what we are going to learn in this lesson? First of all, some guidelines to how to do planning phase and how not to do it. Secondly, I will show our process from the inside, how we do this in the SoftFormance Agency, so we can see the full process and understand the steps behind it. Also, I will show you, this is a very important thing, how can you apply this our process to your specific situation without prior experience and without having technical expertise. Also, I will show you 5 core deliverables for every software planning phase, something that you need to have, otherwise it will fail. Finally, at the end of this lesson, I will have a huge bonus for you, which will make your life a lot easier. You will spend much less time than we usually spending on our workshop and still get pretty decent results after planning phase. What we are not going to teach you today is how to do market research, business stuff, tech startup product strategy, how to acquire users. That's not about this. We are basically scoping out, planning the technical side of your software, of your technology. Okay, so let's start do's and don'ts of software planning stage. I have actually 3 rules for you. First rule is pay for planning phase. All the planning and discovery process before the first paid engagement is only a high-level roadmap. We call it ballpark numbers. Because doing proper planning phase requires substantial amount of time and resources. So vendor willing to do a lot of work for free is actually a red flag for you. A great software development team with happy and successful clients is always busy, right? And they will never be willing to get into detailed planning phase for free because they have line of projects and they have not enough time. Also, do you remember my rule from previous lesson? Start small. And before you start with a big paid engagement, you need to start with a small paid engagement first. Because and planning phase is an ideal way to test the waters with that new service provider you just selected from the previous lesson. So, but there is one more thing. Rule number 2, start paid planning phase only after 3 high-level roadmap. Do you remember my agency engagement process with a new client? The one that I shared with you in the previous lesson? This is the process, the same slide from previous lesson. We started with a 30 minutes intro call. Then we have 1 hour scoping meeting. Then we do high-level roadmap for the client. Then only then we start the paid engagement, right? This small software startup workshop, relatively small discovery, 1 week, for example. But before that, we had three things we did for free with our client, right? So what is our high-level roadmap process, just to give you an idea, because this one looks like a bit something needs more elaboration here. Usually we have 1 hour quick scoping meeting from here. This is it. And then we will let the team our team to spend a few hours on it, researching, experimenting, playing, and getting reviewing our previous portfolio with similar projects, and then we'll get back to our client within 1 to 2 days with ballpark numbers. That's usually how it looks like. This is the slide from our high-level roadmap. In this case, it was for this client. We include goals, attention areas, which are risk challenges. Then we have project scope on the high level, 1 slide scope. Then we have ballpark numbers, timeline and number, not accurate, ranges, but still it's better than nothing. And then we have potential technology stack and next step we recommend for our client. Based on high-level roadmap numbers, you can decide whether you are willing to go into paid planning phase. It makes little sense to start even a small paid engagement like the planning phase if the full software development process will take much more time and money than you expected, right? So that's why we have this high-level roadmap, so that you will get kind of idea whether all of these numbers and process make sense for you. Finally, rule number 3, cut losses quickly. If you don't like the process, communication, the team, or deliverables from that planning phase, don't continue with that team. If small paid cooperation didn't work, then a big paid engagement will also fail. It's better to lose 1 to 5K on planning phase than to lose 30 to 60K failing full project implementation stage, right? Cut your losses quickly. Learn from your mistakes, then approach the planning stage with a different provider one more time from scratch. With the next iteration, with the next try, you will get more experience, you will get more insights, and you will make it work with a second team, almost guaranteed. Now I want to show you our SoftFormance Agency Planning Pro. So basically how it works, we are sending homework 2 days before the live sessions with our new client. Then we do first day of live sessions 4 hours that day with product strategy for startups only, or business process audit for business tools only, right? So it's a bit different for 2 different scenarios if you want to build business tool or software for sale. Then we go for second day of live sessions, again 4 hours a day, and we do project roadmap, detailed technical scoping and brainstorming the technical side. Now it becomes more technical here. Then we take 3 to 5 working days with our team, and we work on deliverables. And finally, we demo results to the client, all these deliverables, and brainstorm them together. Total length, it highly depends on software scope and complexity, but usually it's never less than 1 week, and with some bigger projects, it might go for a couple months. The cost, again, small projects usually between 1 to 5K. For bigger projects, you can expect up to 5% of whole project budget will be dedicated to planning. So we had some big things like for a couple year development projects that we've been planning for a couple months, and it was like tens of thousands of dollars spent just on planning stages. But if you're building some like tool that is possible to like build the initial version within 3 to 6 months, usually the price for the planning phase in our agency will be 1 to 5K for that planning stage. Now, very important thing, deliverables and artifacts from our workshop, our planning stage within our agency. Product strategy, 5 documents and 7 diagrams. Requirements, specification, technical oversight, work breakdown structure, timeline, budget, technical stack, gap document, gap analysis document, and a few more things that come here. It's a long process, a lot of small details. For more of that process, I will leave you a link below the video with our software startup workshop process. If you're willing to check, you can learn it from here. Now you will ask me, Vitaly, how I'm supposed to do all of that? I have no experience. I don't know how to code. I never hired people. I never launched any software. I have no idea how to do all of that. And this question is right. It's really hard to follow if you're a first-time like you're a newcomer in the software world. That's why the next section of this lesson will be dedicated to simplifying all that process and applying the Pareto rule to this. Again, what are the most important 20% of actions and deliverables that will give you 80% of results? First of all, we have only 5 core deliverables that will make or break the deal. All other things are not that much important. They are nice to have, but they will not influence the project so dramatically. So if you have these 5 core deliverables, you will be okay with that. So let's dive into each of them real quick. First one is specifications. In the previous step, you remember I showed you the scope document where you just outlined the list of features. Now the development team needs to come up with a more detailed breakdown of all those features into user stories. This is the format of that user story. As a user role, I want to do that so I can achieve this goal. And this could be like this format, short one in a Google spreadsheet, or it might be more advanced format, more elaborate with acceptance criteria for each user story. With that, team will know what to do, what to estimate, and how to implement this or another feature. This is the process where the development team, your development team needs to do for you. They will convert your scope document or their scope document into their specifications, specific tasks for the development team to take and develop and estimate. Second deliverable is technical oversight. Technical oversight, here we spot the most technically challenging features and ask your team to research it deeper. On our workshop, we have this checklist. What are usually the most complex things in the project that requires usually some extra research and time before the development, and we spend this time during the planning phase. And with this checklist, you can just give it to your team, and they will go over that and tell, okay, we have this, and we don't have all of other things. And that's why we will research these two things a bit deeper during our planning stage. As a result of this research, you might end up with a couple of scripts. They will do prototyping, some experimenting, learning APIs, and then will they put together technical oversight document like we are doing in this format, where each of the challenge we will make research, will share their libraries, how we can fix or reuse for this or another challenge, is it possible or not at all, and the approach, and of course amount of hours that we plan to spend on that task. Implementation will take up to 15 to 18 hours without map styling. So you don't need to understand all of that, but you just need to make sure that your team highlighted all the challenging tasks, made the research, and is, first of all, is confident that they can do that. It's possible to, it's technically feasible, and secondly, how much effort it will take. That's a very important step to do right after specifications are complete. Third deliverable is work breakdown structure. Here you just ask your team to break down your user stories into smaller things, tasks, usually tasks that have not more than 16 hours assigned. So they break it down into tasks and they estimate these tasks. Okay. At the end, you will end up with hundreds of tasks in your work breakdown structure. This is an example of our format, our template. These are hours assigned to each of tasks. Each of the tasks is part of the bigger epic group of tasks, and then we estimate in ranges. Here we have pretty big range, up to 25-30%, and that's fine. The more challenging the project, the bigger will be the spread. The smaller projects, simple projects, usually might have just single number, so it's very accurate, no risks there. And with these hours, you are ready to go to the next step, to calculate the budget and the timeline. Basically, your team takes these hours, multiplies by their team hourly rates, and that's how they will get the total budget. As for the timeline, they will basically divide it by the weekly hours burn rate for their typical project team size. Developers, designers, they will split the hours, assigned hours. Tasks here are estimated by different team roles, design task by designer, development task by developer, and so on. So they will basically divide it by, okay, we have 120 hours, we can spend 120 hours with our team per week, and they divide total amount of hours per week, and that's how they will get for you amount of weeks for this project first version to be released. Okay, this is the format how that looks for one of our projects. We would also group these tasks into bigger milestones, assigned the development roles, hours for the milestones, budgets, timeline, and finally at the bottom totals for the hours and totals for the budgets in ranges. So these are 5 deliverables: timeline and budget, 4th and 5th deliverable of the planning phase. One more time: specifications, technical oversight, work breakdown structure, timeline, and budget. Now, what are core activities, smallest amount of activities that you need to do to get these 5 core deliverables? First of all, these are live brainstorming sessions like we are doing. Usually it will take 4 to 16 hours for a small or mid-sized project. Here on these sessions, team will ask you a bunch of questions. You will brainstorm it together, scope it out, adjust it. So with that information, team will be able to go and start working on specifications for you. Then after they do the homework, they will come back to you and do the 2 hours demo, deliverables demonstration. Demonstrate, and we will brainstorm it a bit. Usually it's not ready to go. Usually you still want to adjust. Maybe budget is too high, or maybe too low, you want a bit more. Or maybe timeline is not, you're not happy with timeline or some other functions, or you change your mind a bit. So you will have to spend sometime, in most cases we spending 2 to 3 more calls, 1 hour each, together, fine-tuning, adjusting deliverables so that it fits client needs, limitation, etc. So these are three types of activities you need to do: live brainstorming sessions, demo, and adjustment sessions after demo, so that you can finalize. So with these three core activities, a proper team, and a pack of templates, you will get 5 core deliverables almost guaranteed. So what's after that? Now we need to finalize our planning stage, because it's only the beginning of the project, right? It's just the plan. There's still nothing developed. So what's next? Ask yourself, did you like the process? Did you like the communication? Was it a lot of fun for you and your team? Deliverables work for you or not? And if you got a yes to every of the above questions, then you can be 100% sure that you selected the right software development team in the previous lesson. And now you are ready for the next step. Also, before you go, I have a couple more things. First of all, as I promised in the beginning of the lesson, I have a bonus for you: software planning pack. This is all the templates I showed you before in this lesson: estimation, technical filtration checklist, work breakdown structure, timeline, budget, specifications, requirements, scope, and much more, and also including the masterclass video explanation are part of this pack, and I want to give it to you. With that, you just take it all. You just give it to your team. There's video instruction for them. They can use it all. They can conduct proper sessions with you, ask you proper questions. So you just have to spend 20 minutes checking it all, forwarding to your team, and then hop on the calls with them. These calls I showed you in a previous slide, like 3 core activities. And that's how they will follow the process, follow their deliverables format, and that will simplify your life even easier. You will find the link to that software startup pack in the link below this video, but I don't give away it for free. There's small sum, a symbolic sum for you need to pay for that. Why? Because I believe that if you get it for free, you will not value it, not use it, and forget about that. But if you pay for it, you will basically use it, and it will motivate you to create something amazing, and will help your team and you do a proper planning stage. So use that bonus. It will simplify your entrepreneurial life even further. Final note, legal stuff. For the startup workshops, we give our clients this kind of small 2-page agreement with some NDA and some other things, important things. Sometimes we do that, other times clients don't need, and we don't require that, so we just send invoice for the payment, prepayment, and that's it. But if you really would like to be like secure yourself, then this agreement will also work for you. And the template for this agreement is also part of this software planning pack, so we will get it as well if you buy the service pack. Now I want to thank you. That's all from me. Don't forget about your homework, and see you in the next lesson.